What's up, manga fans? This is Raphael from C Manga, and welcome back to another review of Hajime no Ippo. This week's chapter 1084, Killing Spears. Now, first things first, I don't actually remember the last time I read a chapter of Hajime no Ippo. I think it was sometime back in December, and if it is, damn, that's quite a long time. But this isn't really any shock because we've had worse in the past few years where we could go a few months without seeing it. But either way, I'm glad it's back, and this chapter was definitely not a disappointment. Mashiba is such a filthy boxer when he wants to be. It's so enjoyable to see him go and, into his Grim Reaper state of mind and just tear apart his opponents with his sai. You might as well say literally claiming his soul, because I feel like the soul of Romeo was beaten out of him, because damn, the ending of this chapter and the end of this fight, literally he claimed Romeo's soul. He got his ass handed to so badly. And what I like is because from the beginning it seemed like, I'm not sure if it was from the beginning, but I'm gonna assume it was, Mashiba pretty much, you might as well say, used his hot-headedness as an advantage, whereas most people inside the ring and outside the ring was seeing it as a weakness. So obviously Romeo will capitalize on the fact that he's hot-headed, he's angry, and he's only going to use his deadly chopping right over and over again, and end up getting lots of body blows in response to that, because he's not guarding himself properly and he's not using his hitman style. But what we see is, obviously last time he went back to the hitman style, and he started using it during this match, but because of the damage accumulated from his fight with Sendo, and a bit of it in the beginning of this match, his flicker jabs aren't actually doing much or anything at all to Romeo. He's not phased, and he's just pushing forward and parrying them away. So at this point, Romeo gets close up and starts into his rage and starts to control the fight. And Mashiba basically literally goes back to resorting to using a chopping right, and everyone's like, stop getting overheated, don't get angry. And because they're close up, Mashiba's long arms are no good in the close range fight, and he's getting his arms smacked away by, obviously, Romeo, because he's an infighter. He's much smaller, closer up, and he's just putting in the pain to Mashiba. He's definitely suffering from this. And he actually took a really bad shot, I think it was somewhere before the 5th round, to the body. And we have a funny moment where Sendo's like, oh, you're the opening act, it's like, you shouldn't be hyping it up this much. And he's like, at least win it. And it's funny because it's like, Sendo, this is your fault. Even your trainer says if he loses, it's down to you. So basically the climax starts, it was in the 5th round, and it's pretty much the same scenario with Mashiba using chopping rights, but taking a lot of punishment to his body. And we assume that Romeo's going to win this. He's going in for the kill, and he says, I'm gonna finish this with a body knockout. And so Mashiba's got his arm really raised up, and he's gonna basically use, I don't know, a really strong chopping right. And Romeo's like, yep, I'm in, this is it, this is the end for you. And then he's like, where's the chopping right gone? And the next thing we see is like his hand was all blurred, and instead of the chopping right coming out, there's a uppercut coming instead. And Romeo has literally gone head first into this and took the full brunt of it. There was no way he could brace for that impact, and you can tell that rattled his brain. He was gone after that, and it just makes me laugh. Mashiba set up this, I don't know if he was setting this up from the start, but either way it works. If he done it midway in the fight, let me do this, but I feel like it was from the start. And he was literally just doing chopping rights the entire round just to set up that uppercut, because that was a brilliant feint. It's like, yep, I'm going to do a chopping right, no, actually I'm going to do an uppercut. And this is something I loved seeing from Ippo. This is the kind of things he used to do, and I hope when he gets back in the ring he'll be performing stuff like that, because his feints were really badass as well. Mashiba shows that kind of feints are still quite effective. So as I said, towards the end of the thing, it was literally a bloodbath. It was a one-sided flurries of literally overhands and uppercuts. It was literally from top to bottom, and it's just like he's getting completely mashed up, and his head is rocking about. The referee had to jump in and stop it. There was no way he was going to fight back. And I was just like, Mashiba, you really put in the work. I'm glad this fight was resolved quickly. I didn't want anything too long after, you know, the very, very long Ippo fight we had a few weeks ago, or a few chapters ago. So yeah, as I said, enjoyed this chapter. We had obviously some serious, really good boxing, but we had some funny sides. To mention, Kumi made me laugh when, you know, it looked like Mashiba was actually going to lose. One of Mashiba's colleagues were like, "Come on, we have to cheer him, or he's going to lose." And she's like, "I can't bear to look." And then it's like when it turns around towards the end, these the same colleagues, like, "Yeah, he's beating the crap out of the opponent. This is amazing. Look, Kumi." And she's like, "I can't bear to look," and I'm just laughing because I was like, she can't bear to see him get beaten up, but at the same time she can't bear to see him beating someone else up. So you can still see that even though she's come there to support him, she's still not entirely used to boxing. And it's funny that they made this more of a comic relief rather than, you know, an emotional distressful thing that we've seen in the past. So as I said, you know, the Ippo humor is all in this chapter. I'm glad we still see that you know, in this series. And as I said, I'm glad to see a really good match from Mashiba, so I can't wait to see the Tiger get into the ring and do his work. Yep, Sendo is up next, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. We've seen that he's fought, well, we've been told that he's fought and beaten Mexican boxers, so I definitely want to see more from him. And hopefully this can kind of open up Ippo's eyes as well, seeing as they're pretty much one and the same in terms of boxing. And maybe he'll learn from this. But as I said, I'm definitely looking forward to see what Sendo's going to do. And after that, we'll have Takamura. So, you know, it's going to be really great. I hope more of the, obviously, future chapters are going to be like this. Can't wait for it. So, you guys know the usual. If you enjoyed this chapter, let me know in the comments below. Say anything you want. And I'll speak to you guys whenever the next chapter comes up. Take care.